Greetings, fellow yogis, and welcome to your 60-minute Vinyasa. A little dark out today, so we turn the light on. Hopefully you'll be able to see everything. My name is Spencer, and this is Amelia, and we will begin in a seated posture today, so you can come to easy seated pose if that's most comfortable for you. If you have half lotus in your practice or full lotus in your practice, it's kind of early to start getting into those, but if you're kind of an advanced practitioner and you want to go there, that is fine. But we will begin seated, and we'll just begin with our mindful meditative breathing. Put on a little bit of music here.
I'm going to sit on a block.
Yeah, Amelia likes to sit on a block when she does the seated, just to give herself a little bit of elevation. But you can bring your hands to your knees, maybe palms up to receive, palms down to ground. I often say that sometimes people like to take their peace sign fingers into the earth and just begin to come to your mindful meditative breath, coming to your yoga head, your yoga mind. During your mindful meditative breath, the texture of your breath is soft and easy. The sound of your breath is quiet. Just beginning to enhance the oxygen flow, beginning to engage the parasympathetic nervous system. Eyes can be closed here or open. If they are open, find a drishti point. Just focus on that drishti point, that focus point. Beginning to quiet any monkey mind that you might be going through, at least for the next 60 minutes. Maybe setting an intention of staying present, staying within the room. You certainly will not be able to stop thoughts from coming through your mind, but you will be able to acknowledge that they exist, accept that they exist, and then release. Maybe raising the corners of the mouth into a little bit of a smile. Sometimes it's a little hard to smile these days with stress and anxiety. So use this 60-minute time for yourself and smile during your practice. Take a couple more mindful meditative breaths. Now we'll begin to deepen our breath and move into our Ujjayi breath, U-J-A-Y-I-I. So now the sound of the breath is more audible. It may only be audible to yourself inside of your head, or if you're practicing with anyone else, it may be audible to them. And the texture of your breath is a little bit rougher now. You're feeling the vibration of the air as it passes over the back of the throat. You're beginning to build some heat, utilizing your Ujjayi breath during your practice when you need a little bit more heat and a little bit more fire in your belly. Visualizing the diaphragm dropping in your abdominal cavity on your in-breath, allowing the lungs to fully open and expand, increasing the volume of air that you're able to intake. And then on your out-breath, that diaphragm raises up in the abdominal cavity, places mechanical pressure on the base of the lungs, expelling all of the air, or most of the air, shall we say. You're never 100% empty. Concentrating on the exhale and extending the exhale. We'll take 2 final Ujjayi breaths. And on your next breath, you'll inhale deeply as we move into a cleansing breath pattern. Inhale deeply. And this time at the top of your breath, you'll pause and hold for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide. Exhale. You're blowing out a candle about 4 feet in front of you, or steaming up a compact mirror right in front of your mouth. Inhale. Engage. Fill the belly. Pause at the top of the breath for 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide. Exhale. Using your cleansing breath during your practice when you need that influx of oxygen. Cleansing. Take 3 final cleansing breaths on your own, and I invite you to extend the exhale, making the exhale as long as you can. Really, really practicing, really strengthening the breath. Final 2 cleansing breaths. Pause at the top of the breath. Exhale. Final cleansing breath here. And remembering that during your practice, you can come back to your mindful meditative breath when you're settling into your asanas, your ujjayi breath when you need a little bit more fire in the belly, and your cleansing breath to release, to influx, bring in as much oxygen as you can and exhale as much carbon dioxide as you possibly can. If your eyes are closed, blink your eyes open. We'll begin to move into our spinal range of motion here. So from a seated position, we'll take the right palm to the outside of the right hip as that left arm comes up tall. We're going to press down into the right hand, allowing us to grow tall. You'll touch the ceiling with your left fingertips, and then on your exhale, begin to take your side bend. Your gaze can be under your left arm or maybe into your left palm if you don't have any cervical issues. Inhale, press down to lift up. Feel that left side body opening and the left shoulder joint opening. Exhale, take your side bend. If you have an advanced practice and you'd like to come down onto a block on your forearm or onto the floor with your forearm, feel free to do so, but only if your left hip does not rise up. Final time, inhale. Exhale, lengthen, touching the side wall with your left fingertips. Inhale brings you back to center. We'll switch out the hands. Now the left palm comes to the outside of the left hip. Right arm comes up tall. Feel that shoulder joint opening. Touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Press down into the left palm. Inhale, grow. Exhale, you'll take your side bend. You're opening up your right side body here. The intercostal muscles between the ribs lengthening and stretching. Gaze is under the right arm or into the right palm. Inhale, press down to lift up. Exhale, lengthen. Again, should you choose to come to a block or some sort of pillow on your forearm, then take that stretch a little deeper or onto the floor onto your forearm. Final breath here, press down to lift up. Exhale, lengthen, touching the left side wall with your right fingertips. And back to center. Both arms come up tall. Touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Suck your belly button into your spine, engaging your bandhas. And then on your exhale, take a forward fold, bringing your palms to the floor. Your chin comes to your chest comes to your shin. And then extend out long. So your spine is in full flexion here. You're rounding your spine from the base of the spine down at the sacrum all the way up to where the paraspinal muscles tie into the base of the skull at the occiput. Inhale. Exhale. Fingertips move forward 1/8 of an inch only. Crawling forward. Feel the shoulder blades opening here. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen, belly button sucks in, engaging that core. Final breath here, inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale brings you back to center. Let's take both hands behind the back and make a fist. And then press your fist towards the floor. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, begin to come forward. You're going to bring your forehead to the floor and then extend the arms up behind you, lifting the arms off of the back, bringing the shoulder blades together. You can actually even come off of your hips here and lift up. Pressing the shoulder blades together, opening the chest here, opening the heart. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen, lift the arms 1/8 of an inch higher. And release. We'll move into spinal rotation next. We're going to take the back of the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Make sure that left arm is straight and solid. That elbow is basically locked.
Did we switch to that or to this?
No, you're good where you are.
Okay.
You can be in this position, but where Amelia is better. And then that right palm comes behind the back, placing the palm on the floor. The heel of the wrist comes as close to your spine as possible with the fingertips pointing away. That left arm is solid and strong. Try not to bend the elbow too much. As you inhale, you'll press down into your right palm. You'll press your left hand into your knee, grow tall, and then exhale, begin to take a twist. So you're gazing over your right shoulder to the wall behind you now. That left shoulder is coming forward as the right shoulder and right rib cage are coming behind you. So you're engaging your abdominal oblique muscles now. Taking a nice twist. Inhale, press down into the right palm, grow tall. Press the left hand into the knee, using that as leverage, and then exhale, take your twist. One final time. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, twist. And come back to center. We'll switch the legs out. Now, the back of the right hand comes to the outside of the left knee. The left hand comes to the base of the spine, again with that heel of the wrist as close to your spine as you can get it, and fingertips pointing away. Inhale, press down into the left palm. You're going to grow tall. Press the right hand into the right knee, and then begin to take your twist. You're now gazing over your left shoulder. I'm going to give a small assist here. Notice how Amelia's shoulders are now perpendicular to the rest of her body. Inhale, grow. Exhale and twist. Final time, inhale, grow. Exhale, twist. And make your way back to center. We'll find our way into tabletop from here.
Oof,
so in tabletop,
that was so
what's
good.
that?
I cracked so good.
She cracked so good. As a former chiropractor, I love that sound. But don't be worried. If you ever hear that cracking sound,
It's good.
It's not your bones breaking, by the way. There's little tiny gas bubbles inside of the joints in your body, carbon dioxide gas bubbles. And sometimes the movement of those bubbles causes a popping sound that's kind of a vacuum. And that's what the sound is. So if it happens, typically it's not that bad of a thing. So hips are directly over the knees. Just a little bit of chiropractic anatomy there. Hips are over the knees, shoulders over the elbows, elbows over the wrists into a traditional tabletop. We'll take 2 or 3 cat-cows here. So on our inhale, we're going to drop our belly. Gaze is upward for cow posture, spinal extension. And then on the exhale, chin comes to chest, press into the palms, dome the spine for cat posture. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And find your way back to a neutral tabletop. Now we're going to bring our forearms to the floor. Okay, so very important here. The forearms to the floor. you want to have the arms parallel to one another. A lot of times I see this where the elbows go out to the side. So try to bring the arms parallel to one another, and the elbow is directly under the shoulder. We'll take a couple cow cats from here. So on your inhale, drop your belly and gaze up. And on the exhale, press into the forearms now. Bring the chin to the chest and dome the spine. Inhale for cat, for cow. Get those mixed up all the time. Exhale for cat. One last time. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. And now come back to neutral. We're going to step the right foot back and then step the left foot back, roll the toes under, and find your way in a forearm plank. Now, very important here, you see Amelia's hips are slightly lifted. That's good. We don't want the hips to touch the floor. Hold here, right. We don't hold here in forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale. Heels pressing towards the wall behind you. Inhale. Exhale. Let's let the hips come down to the floor. Flatten the feet. Chin looks up and we find our way into Sphinx posture. A nice good back bend here, a simple early back bend in our practice. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, chin comes to the mat, arms come out into a T with the palms down. Inhale, lifts up our heart and lifts up our legs as we find our way into locust pose. Now a little bit more of a strenuous back bend than Sphinx, because now you're really engaging not only the upper body but the lower body. Inhale. Exhale brings us back to Sphinx. Inhale rolls the toes under and brings us back to forearm plank. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, begin to walk the toes towards the elbows, lifting the hips up tall and finding our way in dolphin pose. My personal least favorite posture. I hate dolphin pose.
Me too.
But I'm not doing it. She's doing it. So in dolphin, now be cognizant here of not letting the elbows come out. Try to keep the elbows in. Inhale. Exhale, we'll walk the legs back out, back to forearm plank. We're going to take that sequence one last time. Inhale. Exhale, hips drop down, feet flatten. Inhale, lifts the heart for Sphinx. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, chin comes to the mat, arms come out long. Inhale for locust pose. Lift the chin, lift the chest, lift the legs. Throat opens up. Exhale, lower, brings us back into Sphinx. Inhale, rolls the toes under, back into forearm plank. Inhale. Exhale, feet walk in towards the elbows, lifting the hips up into dolphin pose.
You don't want your head to be on the ground, right?
You don't want your head to be on the ground in this particular situation, correct? Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, feet walk back out. You're back in the high plank. Inhale. Exhale, child's pose. So that's a tough sequence, especially if you don't do this all the time. So in child's pose, we'll bring the hips back towards the heels, extending the arms out long, and taking a rest. So child's pose, as are several other poses, is a rest pose. But as I always say, it is not a pose of stagnation. You're not just hanging out here. This is an active posture. So hips coming to the heels, arms extending out long, shoulders are opening for 3, for 2, for 1. Roll the toes under. Hips come up tall. We're going to make our way into our first down dog. So in down dog, we're going to pedal the feet, swivel the hips. Just find yourself into your first down dog of the practice. Back is nice and flat here. Pressing the heels down towards the floor. The heels may or may not ever get to the floor. I know in my own personal practice, usually it takes me about half of a class before I can get my heels onto the floor because my hamstrings and my Achilles and my calf muscles have to really open up. You can bend your knees here if you'd like, ever so slightly. You want to bring that chest towards the thighs. And then bend your knees, gaze towards the front of the mat. Either walk or hop to the top of the mat and find your way in a nice forward fold. So this is our first forward fold. You can bend your knees as much as you choose, maybe bringing the chest onto the thighs. If you'd like to grab your elbows one another, go into ragdoll, you can do so. If you have a little bit more flexibility, Amelia's going for her heels here. That's early in the practice for most people. So you can stay with hands in ragdoll or just letting the arms hang on to the floor. Hips come up tall. Maybe at that last moment, contracting the quadriceps muscles, straightening the legs one last time. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll sweep the arms up tall. Hands come together in prayer. And hands come to heart center. Arms out to the side. Mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll set up for our sun salutations. We'll take one sun A and one sun B. Both of them will have lunges in the middle. One breath, one motion. That's what Vinyasa flow is. Now, when we do our Vinyasa, you can always come to your knees should you choose to do so. No harm, let the ego go, wherever your body is. I have a little bit of a shoulder injury going on right now personally. So when I'm doing my chaturangas, I'm actually coming down to my knees to take pressure off of my shoulder. For me, that's all the ego. I have to let that go because typically I wouldn't have done that in the past. Now I'm able to finally let that go and I'll come down to my knees. So wherever you are in your practice is wherever you are. One breath, one motion. Follow my cues. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Take your time doing this. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. So we have a nice flat line, straight line between the heel and the crown of the head. Exhale, left foot back, down dog. Now you can come to your knees on your Vinyasa. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Hold here. Knees can drop should you choose. Exhale, lower, Chaturanga Dandasana. Elbows in tight. Inhale, flattens the feet, brings you into Cobra or Upward Facing Dog. Exhale, roll over the toes and Downward Facing Dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Flat back, exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We'll bring the palms together as we set up for our first back bend. So, palms are together, thumbs can be crossed, maybe releasing the index fingers. You're going to press down into your feet to lift up tall. That helps to open and distract the spine. Then press your hips forward, drop your head back, bring your arms back towards your ears and begin to take your first back bend. First back bend. Be compassionate. You don't have to touch the floor on the first back bend. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We'll step the left foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Inhale, forward in the high plank. Knees can come down should you choose. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. See if you can feel the elbows graze against the rib cage. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We'll set up for back bend number 2. You've been here once. Maybe go for it a little bit more. Again, press down, lift up, press forward, drop back, tightening the glute muscles. The chest is facing the ceiling. That's what this is all about. Can you get your chest to face the ceiling? Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center, Tadasana mountain pose. So a back bend is about not just bending back, but how flush can you get your chest onto the ceiling? It's a chest opener. Sun B, we're going to add chair pose Utkatasana. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, we fold and sweep our little fingers onto the floor and bring our way up in the chair pose. So we'll sit here for a couple of breaths. Your arms can be out long should you choose, or your arms can be up tall. If your arms are up tall, maybe roll the pinky fingers in towards one another. That will open the shoulder blades. Take a peek at your toes. If you can't see your toes because your knees are in the way, try to move your knees back. Yes, it might feel as though you're falling backwards. That's okay. Exhale, forward fold. Step the right foot back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Press that right heel toward the back wall. Exhale, left foot comes back. You're in down dog. Now, if you have a more advanced practice and you want to do a three-legged vinyasa, I invite you to do so. There is no requirement. Three-legged vinyasa yogis, right leg comes up. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. You can still come to your knees. Exhale and lower. Inhale, drops that right foot, lifts you into upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We'll bring the palms together. Third and final back bend in this sequence. Now you can go for it. Now, press down. Lift up. Hips forward. Touch the wall in front of you with your hips. Bring your arms back and take your back bend. Tightening the glutes, chest facing the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, take your forward fold. Breathe through it. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. Three-legged vinyasa yogis. Left leg lifts tall. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, drops that foot if it's up, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through, top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We sweep the little fingers onto the floor and make our way back into chair pose, Utkatasana. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, we're going to take the right elbow over the left knee and take our twist. So, a couple things here. Both knees should be lined up. Take a quick peek at your knees. If one knee is migrated forward, bring them together. That right elbow is on the left knee and the left elbow is facing the ceiling. Maybe your gaze is towards the ceiling. The right shoulder is coming under as the left shoulder and left rib cage are torquing behind you, engaging again those abdominal obliques. For 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, hands come back to heart center. Exhale, sink. Inhale, elbows lift. Exhale, left elbow comes over the right knee. And now you can see a front view here. So, again, take a peek at your own knees. Has one knee migrated forward an inch? That happens all the time because that allows that has to do with the hips not being open as much. Right elbow pointing towards the ceiling. Left elbow pressing that right knee across the body. Left shoulder coming under. Breathe. Find your breath here. If you're in discomfort here, use your breath to bring back to that comfort level. For 3, for 2, for 1. Inhale, hands come back to heart center. We'll find our way back into Utkatasana. Inhale, let's lift the heels off of the mat. So one day the heels are directly over the toes. Hands can come to heart center. If you'd like to lower down and come into a toe stand here, feel free to do so. If you're in toe stand and you'd like to open the knees up wide, feel free to go there, maybe touching the heels on one another. Find your balance, find your drishti point, your focus point, about 4 feet in front. For 3, for 2, for 1, palms come to the floor, stand up tall, feet come together, arms sweep up tall, hands come to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. We'll take several cleansing breaths here, lowering that heart rate. So this is an all levels class. So I go through a variety of layers. Wherever your practice is wherever your practice is. If you don't feel comfortable and you're not at a certain spot in your practice, or you don't feel like you want to go there today, that is fine. But I give different layers because everybody that watches these is at different places in their own personal practice. Let's step off for a second. We'll straighten this up. There you go. Okay. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, fold. We'll step the right foot back into a lunge. Inhale lifts us into crescent lunge. So we'll set up here for a moment. Notice that her hips are both facing forward. Arms are up tall, maybe rolling the little fingers in towards one another. That opens up the shoulder blades. Her right leg is solid and strong with her right heel pressing towards the back wall. Inhale, knee over the ankle. Exhale, drop that right knee onto the floor and flatten the foot. Inhale. Exhale brings both palms to the left knee. Lean forward on that right thigh and begin to straighten the arms out, lifting you into a slight back bend. So you're leaning forward on the right thigh. You are opening up your quadriceps and psoas muscles here. At the same time, your lower body is going forward. Your upper body is coming back. Inhale. Next layer, should you choose, you can take that right arm, rotate it, maybe grabbing the shin, or the calf, or the ankle, or the heel. And then maybe extending that left arm up tall. So you're either going for your calf or your heel, and then extending that left arm up, high-fiving the wall behind you, and taking this into a half camel. For 3, for 2, for 1, release the posture, both hands come to the knee, and then begin to rock back and find your way into half pyramid. There you go. So, you're not sitting down yet, stay up tall. Your left toes are now facing the ceiling. Hands on the floor. If you have a block or you want to bring the floor closer to you, feel free to do so. You should feel a nice stretch in that left hamstring. The more you bring the toes back, the more that stretch is going to be there. And then if you're comfortable in this half pyramid here, you can begin to sit back onto your heel and take a half split, Ardha Hanumasana. If you have a full split in your personal practice, you can use blocks, or if you have a full Hanumasana, full split, you can go into that. We'll just stay in half split here. Back is straight. I have a string at the top of your head. Try not to lean forward. Nice and straight posture, beautiful.
Do you want your...
You can have your hands now, you can have your hands on the floor, but if you're comfortable with your balance, maybe bring your hands to heart center. Maybe extend the arms up tall. Play here. This is all about play, wherever you're comfortable. Lift the arms up tall. There you go. Okay, perfect. So wherever you want to play with, you can use the floor for balance. but if you're balanced otherwise, you can go into a different posture. For 3, for 2, for 1, begin to bring the hands down to the floor, bend that knee. You're going to make your way back into crescent lunge. And then step the right foot up to the top of the mat to meet the left. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. And breathe. So again, multiple layers. If you don't have a split in your practice, I don't have a full split in my practice. I can get there almost with a block under my leg. Okay? But if you have a half split, it's all layers, 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 layers. Wherever you are in your practice, as I say all the time, is where you should be. Other side, inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. We'll step the left foot back. We're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts up tall. Find ourselves in crescent lunge. Again, notice both hips are facing the front wall or the side wall here. So if one hip in particular here, that left hip will have a tendency to roll back. Try to bring that left hip forward so that they're both even. Left heel pressing away towards the back wall. Inhale. Exhale, left knee comes to the floor and the foot flattens. Inhale. Exhale, both hands come to the right knee. Begin to lean forward on the left thigh, opening up that quadriceps and psoas muscle, the major hip flexors. So your lower body is pressing forward. Your upper body now is starting to take a back bend. If you're comfortable here and you want to move to the next layer, you can rotate that left arm, grabbing for that left calf or that left heel, and then extending that right arm, high-fiving the wall behind you, opening up that right side body, opening up that right shoulder, trying to keep that knee bent. Inhale. Half camel, exhale. Inhale. Exhale, lengthen. Inhale. Exhale brings you back. Begin to straighten out that right leg, leaning back. We'll come into half pyramid. The right toes are now facing the ceiling, holding here. You can bring your hands to the floor for balance here. Really engaging that left hamstring and the left calf muscles here, as well as the fascia on the bottom of the foot, the plantar fascia. Inhale. Exhale takes you back into Ardha Hanumasana, half split or full split, yogi's choice, and we'll settle in here for a few breaths. I've learned not to try to do a split if I haven't warmed up, which I haven't really warmed up today. If you're comfortable here, again, notice her back is nice and flat here. I have a string, the top of the crown of her head pulling towards the ceiling, so she's not leaning forward or leaning back. You can have your hands to the side. You can bring your hands to heart center. You want to lift the arms up tall and grow and expand and exalt your arms, touching the ceiling, opening the shoulders for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hands come to the floor. Begin to release the posture. Find your way back into crescent lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, left foot comes forward to the top of the mat. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana mountain pose. We'll take 3 cleansing breaths. Beautiful work, yogis. Beautiful work. I can see you, and I know you're doing beautiful work there because I know who you are. Final cleansing breath. We're going to move into our balance sequence. Turn and face the wall. So we're going to do tree into Shiva and then into warrior 3, and then we'll change to the other side. So We're going to use our left foot as our balance foot, as I always say, rather than being unconscious and just slapping our foot down. Let's be mindful and conscious about our balance foot. That's what's going to pull us through these next three postures. So we'll take the heel of the left foot into the mat, then we'll drop the ball of the foot, lift the toes, that engages the arch of the foot and the sole of the foot, and then grip the mat with the toes. We'll bring our hands to heart center to start. Right leg comes up. You can go in the kickstand for tree where your toes are on the floor and your heel is on the inside of your shin. Or you can bring the sole of your foot to your shin or the sole of your foot to the inside of your thigh. If you have a little bit more of an advanced practice, you can go into half lotus. Find your drishti point. Breath and focus in our balance postures. Your drishti point is your focus point, usually an inanimate object, maybe 4 or 5 feet in front of you. The only place you don't want your foot is on your knee. If your leg is up like Amelia's, think about rotating that right knee back, but keeping both hips facing forward. That's a hip opener. If you're comfortable here and would like to exalt your arms, feel free to do so. Maybe sway side to side. Play with your balance. I want you to fall out. I expect and hope for you to fall out. That tells me you're going to your edge. If you fall out, don't be embarrassed. This is not about your ego. You left your ego in the other room. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Hands come back to heart center. We're going to bring that right knee into the chest. And then we're going to take that right knee and take it to the depression behind the left knee. And then begin to sit down. Bringing the right heel towards the glutes. Try not to roll over. Your gaze is up in Shiva pose. So you're digging that right kneecap into the depression behind the left knee. Inhale. Exhale, left knee bends and sinks. Inhale brings the right knee back into the chest. We'll keep the hands at heart center and we'll begin to make our way into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. So slower than you would like. Begin to bring that right leg back as the upper body comes down. Upper body down, lower body up. Try to roll that right hip down so the hips are flat. Gaze is upward. If you look down, you will most likely go down. So find your drishti point in front of you for 3. Good, beautiful. For 2, drop that right hip down. For 1, inhale, right knee comes back into the chest. Exhale, foot comes to the floor. Tadasana, mountain pose. Beautiful sequence. Great job, everyone.
I'll say thank you on behalf of everyone.
We'll now go to the other side. So our right foot is our balance foot. We'll take the heel of the right foot into the mat. Then we'll drop the ball of the foot. Lift the toes up tall. And then grip your mat with your toes. Hands to heart center. We'll take tree on the left side. On the right side, I'm sorry. So you can come into kickstand, shin, inner thigh, half lotus.
Fall out, come back.
Fall out, come back, fall out, come back. Now, the key here is that right leg. Try to contract your right quadriceps, your big thigh muscle. That will straighten that leg. That leg should be solid and strong, concrete. Hold here. If you're comfortable and want to exalt your arms, feel free to do so. Sway to the left, sway to the right. Play with your balance. Challenge yourself. 26 bones in the foot and ankle. They're constantly rearticulating and readjusting during your balance postures. Not only is this beneficial in this room, but outside in the real world. This will help so much with your balance as you get older. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Left knee comes into the chest. We'll take that left knee, let's bend that left leg. We'll take that left knee into the depression behind the right knee. Back is flat and begin to make your way down. Bringing that left heel towards the glute. Hold here for 3, for 2, for 1. Left knee comes back into the chest. We'll move into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. Begin to kick that left leg back as the upper body comes down. So your hips are the fulcrum here. Upper body down, lower body up, upper body down, lower body up. Gaze is forward, look forward. Warrior 3, roll the left hip down for 3, for 2, for 1. Left knee comes back into the chest. Exhale, left foot comes down to meet the right. Arms sweep up tall. Hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose. Turn and face the bookcase.
Yes, sir.
We're going to move into half pigeon. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands and either step or hop back to a high push-up. Press into down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring the right knee behind the right wrist and the right ankle behind the left wrist. Plant your fingertips into the floor. Flatten the left foot. Press up into a back bend. Inhale. Exhale. Now, if you're comfortable here and you want to take this into the next step, you can bend that left knee, reach around with the left hand, grab the left foot using your right hand as leverage, and then bring that left heel towards the glute. If you can touch your butt with your heel, great. But if you can't, that's fine. If you have a strap around and you want to grab it with that, you're welcome to do so. But it doesn't matter how far you bring it in. And then play with your positioning on that left thigh. Maybe move 1/4 of an inch to the left, maybe 1/4 of an inch to the right. You will see that based on where you move, you're going to feel a different stretch in that quadriceps. And then slowly release that foot. Don't slingshot it. Press yourself up one last time. And then on your exhale, begin to bring your chest and upper body towards the floor, extending the arms out long. Now, if you have a big space between your hip and the floor, you can place a block under there, or a pillow, or a blanket. I'm actually going to get a blanket here. So I'm going to set up this way. Now, if pigeon is not in your practice, you can take that back leg and bend it like I am here and find your way into deer posture. So Amelia is in full pigeon with that leg extended. I'm going to go into deer posture. So my right leg is bent and my shin is parallel to the top of the mat. But now I'm bending the left knee and my chest comes over my shin. And I can fill that spot up with a blanket, with a pillow, but I'm in deer posture. That's the modification for pigeon. Inhale. Exhale. Now we're going to go into a thread the needle from pigeon. So lift the head up ever so slightly. Lift that right arm up. Sweep that right arm up. And then take that right arm through the opening. I'm going to give you a blanket for your head here. Lift up your head.
Actually, it's not my head, it's my hip.
Okay. We'll fill this spot up here. So now we are in pigeon with thread the needle. So lots of things happening here. We've engaged the shoulder. The right shoulder is in internal rotation. But we're still working on that right hip. That left quadriceps and psoas muscle are extending out long. For 3. For 2. For 1. Begin to bring that right arm out. We'll tent our fingertips into the floor one last time. And then step the right leg back to meet the left. Find your way in down dog. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out.
Oof.
Before we move to the opposite side.
Wow, they feel so different.
Yeah, your sides will feel different now. That right side is way open. And you might feel a difference between right side and left side. Remember, your body is not fully symmetrical. No one's body is. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through top of the mat. Inhale, exhale, left knee comes behind the left wrist. Left ankle comes behind the right wrist. Flatten the right foot. Tent the fingertips into the mat. Lift up tall. Take a little back bend here. If you're comfortable here and you would like to do a little quadricep stretch, bend that right knee. Reaching around with the right hand, grabbing the right foot, pulling the right heel in towards the glute. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release the right foot. Tent the fingertips one final time. Exhale, forward fold. Find your way in pigeon on the left. Again, filling up any spaces that you may have with blankets or blocks or pillows. Doesn't matter. Make yourself comfortable. You should feel a nice, good stretch in that right thigh. At the same time, you might feel a little bit of a pinching in the left hip. This is an internal rotator. External rotator of the left hip. Now begin to lift the head ever so slightly. Sweep that left arm up tall. Exhale, sweep the left arm underneath the body, taking this into thread the needle with pigeon, or pigeon with thread the needle. So now you're engaging that left shoulder, internal rotation of the left shoulder, external rotation of the left hip. Stretching and lengthening of the hip flexors on the right. You're also opening up that right shoulder as that right shoulder is extended, and your head is turned, so you have cervical rotation. There are so many different things going on in this posture, they're hard to even recount all of them. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale begins to lift up. You'll tent the fingertips into the floor one last time to take a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, step the left foot back to meet the right. You're in down dog. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. And make your way to your seat. So I'm going to have you face that way. All right, so first thing we're going to do here, we're on our seat. Get it stretched out. Open up. We'll take that left leg out 45 degrees. We'll bring the sole of the right foot into the left thigh. If you have a lot of room between the knee and the floor, put something under there. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale, take a slight twist, and we'll take a forward fold. You want the spine lined up over the femur.
Okay to bend the knee or not bend the knee?
You can bend the knee should you choose. Jana Sarasana. Inhale. Now, if you can grab your foot, that's great, but if you can't get there, that's okay. You can go for the shin, you can go for the ankle. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And begin to make your way seated. Now, we're going to take that right leg, keep the left leg where it is. We're going to take the right leg and bend it at the knee. So we're in this posture like this. Left hand comes up. We're going to grab the inside arch of that left foot. Right hand comes to the right foot. Inhale, grow tall. Begin to twist. Gaze over the right shoulder towards the ceiling. maybe pull that right foot back, maybe pull that left foot out to open up the hips and take a twist. Very nice. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Feel that opening in the hips there. Inhale. Exhale and release. Both legs come out long. And we'll switch it up here. Right leg comes out to 45. Left knee bends. Sole of the left foot into the left inner thigh. A lot of lymphatic tissue here in the inner thigh near the groin. So if you can put pressure on there, that's going to help to stimulate lymphatic flow. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, take a slight twist to the left. And on your next exhale, inhale, grow. Exhale, fold. Spine over the femur. Nice straight line. You can go for your foot here as Amelia is, but if you can't get there, that's fine. You can bend your knees should you choose. But you can go for the ankle, you can go for the shin, as long as both hands are in the same spot. That's what we're looking for. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And release. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Take the left knee, bend that knee behind you. Right leg remains out long. We'll take that right hand to the arch of the right foot. It might not feel the same on both sides. I can already feel it doesn't feel the same on both sides for me. Left hand to the left foot. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Begin to take your twist. Your gaze is over your left shoulder towards the ceiling. Maybe pulling that left foot further behind you. Maybe taking that right foot a little bit out wider. Taking your twist here. Hip opener, chest opener, shoulder opener for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Both legs come out long. You're going to face the bookcase. Arms come out long, and on a count of 5, we're going to make our way to our backs. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll find our way into a mini Shavasana. Let's bring the knees up tall. We'll bend the knees. Arms come out to a T. We'll take a final spinal twist here. Inhale. Exhale. Knees go to the left and gaze goes to the right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come up. Exhale, knees go to the right and gaze goes to the left. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to center. If there is anything that you would like to do to seal your own personal practice, feel free to go there now. Otherwise, you can begin to make your way into our final posture of today's practice. Corpse pose, final Shavasana. Legs are out long, heels together, toes open. Palms can either be at your side, hands facing up, or you might want to bring your left palm to your heart and your right palm to your belly and settle in. Relax your toes, relax your feet. Relax your legs, relax your thighs and calves, hamstrings, shins. Relax your hips, relax your belly, relax your chest. Relax your fingers, your hands, relax your wrists. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders, melting. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Relax your face. Relax your forehead. Relax your crown. Relax your mind. Begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. If you'd like to wiggle your toes and fingers, maybe shake your head yes and no. Coming back. And if you'd like to extend your arms above your head, maybe clasping your hands together, taking a final good morning stretch. Stretching from the tips of your toes to the tips of your fingers. And then rolling onto your right side in fetal position, maybe resting on your right arm. Posture of rebirth, moving from corpse pose to rebirth. A wonderful metaphor for our daily lives sometimes. And then making your way to the top of the mat, either an easy seated posture, half lotus or full lotus, hands to heart center, eyes closed. There's a wonderful story of an indigenous American grandfather talking to his grandson. And the grandfather says to the grandson that there is a battle between two wolves inside of us at all time. One is evil. It is anger, envy, greed, resentment, inferiority, lies, and ego. And the other is good. It is joy, peace, love, humility, kindness, empathy, and truth. When the grandson asked the grandfather, "Grandfather, which wolf wins?" The old man quietly replies, "The one that you feed." If you'd like to join Amelia and I in a practice sealing Om, please feel free to do so. Should you choose not to, that is perfectly okay. We'll take one deep cleansing breath and then a second inhale, and we will exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we take our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bow towards one another. The light in us honors the light in each of you. We thank you as always for allowing us to be your guide and teacher in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we will see you all next time.